Hi everyone, delonewolf here, and I can finally do some mining once again. I know you guys must have missed this footage, so here it is again. But in today's video I wanted to talk a little bit about Dust 514, as I found two articles, although they're a few days old by now, about it with some pretty cool stuff. And so I'm also in a conversation with the Scorpion King right here, who has actually done some beta testing of Dust 514, so I'm trying to get some information from him as well. Let's see, first of all, right here I asked him about the fitting system on the suits. You know, you can use modules pretty much in the same way that that we do fitting on our ships. So like this, they'll have slots, mid, low and high slots, stuff like that. And let's see what Scorpion King has to say here. You can put rep mods and stuff on vehicles, energized adaptive nanos, everything Eve has pretty much. Yeah, so that sounds pretty cool. Sounds like it'll have a lot more versatility, you know, if you can have heavy armor resists or speed mods or stuff like that. It sounds like you can customize quite a lot. In Dust 514 with this system, at least I feel it will have quite some potential. Now on the Dust 514 website, what I thought was pretty cool on the last news, which is actually from, let me see here, no, that one's mmorpg.com, from August 16th, and with the next patch they are going to integrate Dust with the CC test server in EVE Online. So that sounds pretty interesting, and the orbital strike framework should be put into place then as well and tested. So yeah, it's looking like Dust is coming together, and they're going to start working on integrating it on with an EVE Online server. See how all that stuff works. Oh well, he's telling me that right here, stuff on vehicles, energized adaptive nanos, everything EVE has pretty much. So let me just quickly ask ECM. Or stuff like that. So it could be interesting if they had like some kind of scrambling mods or anything that, or yeah, why not ask him, right? Scrambling stuff could be interesting. I don't know, of course it's still in development, and it's probably gonna be another one of those long-term projects from CCP, but yeah, the things they could do with fitting different stuff, yeah, so it doesn't look like any ECM or scrambling stuff or so it's mostly armor and speed, I guess. So yeah, that was to be expected, of course, but at least stuff like that could come in future patches or expansions or whatever for Dust. You know, some modules that do different stuff. I'm just thinking EMP bursts or stuff like that could be very interesting to see how they develop that system. And like I said, with the next beta patch, it should be integrated on CC. So that should be pretty interesting. But the article that prompted me, and shield and structure and stuff, yeah, so mostly resists and hit points, things like that, pretty interesting. The main article that prompted me to do like a Dust 514 update is from mmorpg.com, which had an interview with creative director Atle Sveinsson about Dust 514. And the part in the interview that I found most interesting was about the different areas in Dust 514. So it'll know high security, low security and null security areas as well, just like in our EVE Online. So I thought that was pretty interesting. As far as I read in the article, high security space is going to be where the Dust players can bear their way to some ISK and some equipment. It will also be the place where they'll have PvE content, which from what we know from FanFest should be sleeper drones. So yeah, we'll have to see if that'll tie into live events in some way, maybe. In low sec, still NPC corporations that are going to like give out the missions for the Dust players. But I guess CCP is sort of thinking about low sec area for Dust 514 for more of proving grounds where corporations have to fight each other, and where they can like prove that they're the best. Could be interesting if they have like a ranking system or stuff like that in that low sec area. And then finally we have nullsec, which is the sandbox for Dust, I guess, where players can actually control planets. Now I'm a little bit confused about what is said in there. It said that players can deploy things on the planet, harvest resources, manufacture stuff, and then of course fight over other people's resources and defend their own. So I'm a bit confused whether the players that can put stuff on the planets are only the EVE Online players, or maybe only Dust players have their own little stuff machines that they can put on the planets, or if that'll cross over, and that EVE Online players can also put in structures to produce Dust 514 stuff, or how that market is going to work. And nothing is said about that, so I'm really not sure how that is going to work, but it does sound interesting. And that 0-0 is where the political stuff will come in, where the alliances will have to try and conquer planets with the help of Dust 514 soldiers in order to produce stuff on them. So yeah, will that production be 0-0 only? Personally, I would think that's a little bit disappointing, but it's always a possibility. We'll have to see what CCP decides to do with it. But yeah, I thought that was a few pretty interesting updates on how Dust 514 is shaping up, basically, and they're integrating it with CC as we speak. And yeah, they're going to implement a system like the low sec, high sec, null sec system in EVE Online for Dust players as well, which is also something that there's a lot they can do with that, in my opinion. Yeah, special thank you for this video to the Scorpion King, who has actually beta tested Dust 514 once and has been answering some of my questions. Sounds interesting. I know he wasn't all too happy with the state of the graphics at the moment, but yeah, keep in mind, if you end up on Dust 514, that it's still in beta, it's still in development, and it's gonna be a console game, so yeah, don't expect 1080p graphics and 1080p detail on there. It's going to be a bit less than what PC gamers are used to by now. Yeah, you can only say that consoles are lagging a bit behind. So Dust 514, it's also graphically probably going to be a bit below PC user standards. But keep in mind, it's going to be a free-to-play game as well in the EVE universe. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to more information on how the integration is going to work of Dust 514 within EVE Online. Anyways, that's it for this quick update. I'll see you guys next time.